So, hello students, this is Rishabh, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about blood supply of abdominal organs. So you all know, abdominal organs like your stomach, the pancreas, your liver, they all somewhat receives the blood supply in form of branches from what? Abdominal aorta. How does abdominal aorta forms? So, if this is your heart gives rise to arc of aorta, which becomes thoracic aorta, right? And when the thoracic aorta passes the diaphragm at the level of T12, it becomes what? It becomes your abdominal aorta. And then when this abdominal aorta reaches the level of L4 vertebrae, it further bifurcates. It bifurcates into what? It bifurcates into your right common iliac and left common iliac. Again, when this right and left common iliacs reaches at the level of your L5 vertebrae, they divide and form what? External iliacs and internal iliacs. So both of them will divide, both of them will give rise to one external and one internal iliac. So in this lecture, we will see the arterial supply of all of the visceral organs, whether it's your stomach or your intestine and everything. See this. This is your phrenic muscle or your diaphragm, the right crux, the left crux, and this is your median arcuate ligament. At the level of T12, when the thoracic aorta passes through it, it becomes what? It becomes your abdominal aorta. And this abdominal aorta is going to give rise to various branches. Some branches will be anterior and some branches will be posterior. Just a second. Technology it's like amazing. It makes everything very easy. See this bifurcation. Now, some branches will be present anteriorly. Let's write them. The first is your anterior branches, which are what? Which are your celiac trunk. Second is your superior mesenteric artery. And third is your inferior mesenteric artery. Got it? Similarly, you have various lateral branches, right? Let's write the lateral branches. This is 1, 2, and 3 here. 1, 2, and 3. I am removing it right now to make you make scheme. It will be in the notes, so don't worry for now. Let's see the lateral branch. The first branch from the your abdominal aorta which comes is, it is your inferior phrenic artery, because phrenic means diaphragm. This is going to supply your diaphragm from the inferior part, from the abdomen. So this is your inferior phrenic artery. One is inferior phrenic artery. Second branch is going to be your middle suprarenal. Here you have your kidney. This is your kidney, and above the kidney you have a gland. Above means supra, kidney means renal, so suprarenal above the kidney. This gland receives 3 blood supply. We will see. Third branch is your renal artery. Third is your renal artery. And the second you see here, this is your middle suprarenal, because one will come from above inferior phrenic artery. This is known as what? This is your superior suprarenal. This is your middle suprarenal, and from the renal artery one more artery will go here, and that is inferior suprarenal artery. So this was your 3 branches. First was inferior phrenic, second was middle suprarenal artery. And third was your renal artery. Besides, you will have certain arteries like gonadal artery, if male, testicular artery, if female, ovarian artery. So this is done. Besides this lateral branch, you will have some branches which is coming from the posterior part. So we saw some branches coming anteriorly, 3 branches: celiac trunk, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery. We saw certain branches which were coming from laterally, for example, inferior phrenic artery, middle suprarenal, and the renal artery, along with the your gonadal artery. And some branches which is coming from posterior part are 4 pair of lumbar artery. This is going to supply the visceral organs. So this is your not visceral organ, the back muscles and all. So 4 pair of lumbar artery. This is a posterior branch. Along with this, you will have one median sacral artery. Median sacral artery. So till now we are done with inferior phrenic artery, middle suprarenal, renal, lumbar arteries. Median sacral, we will see it later, and also this later. The only thing which is left right now is the celiac trunk, superior mesenteric, and the inferior mesenteric artery. So let's see them in the detail. We have some atlas images here, we will use them. So have some bases. We will first see it on the scheme, and then we will go on to the atlas. So first artery is your celiac trunk. It originates from your abdominal aorta at the level of T12 vertebrae, almost same when the thoracic aorta was coming inside, almost at the same level, T12. If this is your abdominal, your celiac trunk, and this is your stomach, this celiac trunk is going to give rise to 3 arteries. What are the 3 arteries of the celiac trunk? Let's write them. First artery is going to be splenic artery. This splenic artery is a tortuous artery, like this. It will go posterior to the stomach. I am drawing it with the dotted line. It will go to the posterior of the stomach and will reach what? It will reach your spleen. It will reach spleen. And then it will give rise to certain hilar branches, and it will supply the spleen. In that also, this splenic artery is going to give rise to a artery known as short gastric artery. This splenic artery is also going to give rise to this, on the greater curvature of the stomach. One more artery it will give. This is left gastroepiploic artery. So we saw celiac trunk gave rise to one artery which was splenic artery. Splenic artery, when it reached the spleen, it gives rise to 2 more artery, the short gastric artery and the left gastroepiploic artery. Besides, if this is your duodenum, and in the curvature of duodenum we have what? We have our pancreas. So pancreas will be somewhat like this. Its tail will be there. Now this part which was posterior, this will give rise to 3 more branches: arteria pancreatica cauda. What is it? Arteria means artery, pancreatica means pancreas, cauda means tail. It means an artery which is supplying the tail of pancreas. Another will be arteria pancreatica magna. Arteria pancreatica magna. Got it? And the another will be here dorsal pancreatic artery. Why dorsal pancreatic artery? Because this artery is posterior or dorsal to your stomach. Got it? So we saw it. Let's write them here. Or if you don't want, we have everything in the notes, so don't worry. Let me just remove it right from here right now. Another branch of your celiac trunk is left gastric artery. Coming on to the lesser curvature of the stomach. This left gastric artery is going to give rise to some esophageal branches to your esophagus. Got it? This also short gastric artery will also give some branches to your esophagus. Got it? So this is your left gastric artery. And left gastric artery, let's write it, celiac trunk. Three arteries are what? Splenic artery. Second was left gastric artery. See, left, why? Because this is going to left. Why gastric? Because this is supplying the stomach. So left gastric artery, and left gastric artery is the largest branch of your celiac trunk. Always remember it. Now this is going to give rise to one another artery, which is common hepatic artery. Common hepatic artery will come here and it will give rise to two branches. Common hepatic artery is going to give rise to two branches. What are the branches? Those branches are hepatic artery proper. Why? Because this is just going to supply your liver. So hepatic artery proper. And another branch will be gastroduodenal artery. This is posterior to the duodenum. So let's draw it dotted. Got it? Common hepatic artery divided into hepatic artery proper and gastroduodenal artery. Now we will first see the hepatic artery proper. See, according to the Gray's Anatomy and few standard medical books, this is going to give rise to the right gastric artery here, and they will anastomose with the left gastric artery. But some books say it comes from the common hepatic artery. So don't worry about the confusion. For the answers for your exam, follow the books which are asked in your university. I have also given you the answers of the questions, so follow them. So this hepatic artery proper will go to the liver. There it will give rise to right hepatic artery, left hepatic artery. Right hepatic artery will give rise to cystic duct to your gallbladder. Here, common hepatic arteries, pancreatic, gastroduodenal, as the name suggests, gastro and duodenum. It means it will supply two things. Gastrum means stomach and duodenum means duodenum. So this gastroduodenal will give rise to one branch. This is right gastroepiploic artery, and this will anastomose with what? Left gastroepiploic artery. This left gastroepiploic was coming from what? This was coming from the splenic artery. Okay, with this we are done with this. And once the gastroduodenal artery gives rise to the right gastroepiploic artery, this forms pancreatoduodenal artery. Why? Because you see, here you have pancreas, here you have duodenum. So now this artery is going to supply your pancreas and the duodenum. So this pancreatoduodenal artery will divide into anterior pancreato and posterior pancreatoduodenal artery. Similarly, from the superior mesenteric artery, which we will discuss, inferior, anterior and posterior branches will come and they will anastomose. And upon anastomosis, they will supply the pancreas and the duodenum. And always remember, I told you, here your tail was supplied, here the body was supplied. So this part of the pancreatoduodenal is primarily supplying only and only the body of the pancreas. So with this we have completed our we have completed our celiac trunk. A short revision: we had our celiac trunk. Celiac trunk gave rise to three branches: left gastric artery going on to the left curvature of the stomach. Let's just draw it here, it would be good. This one, left gastric artery, Common hepatic artery gave rise to what? Hepatic artery proper and gastroduodenal artery. Gastroduodenal artery. From the common hepatic artery proper, right gastric artery came, they anastomosed. This also gives rise to splenic artery. It goes posteriorly here to the spleen. And here it gave what? It gave short gastric artery and right gastroepiploic artery. This gastroduodenal artery will give rise to left gastroepiploic artery, and it will anastomose and it will form anterior and posterior pancreatoduodenal artery. Got it? This is very simple. Here you had, splenic artery posteriorly. It was giving rise to three branches: arteria pancreatica cauda, arteria pancreatica magna, and arteria dorsal pancreatic artery. Three branches. Not so much in detail, but if you remember, it's good. And one thing here, you see this hepatic artery proper. This hepatic artery proper is a content. You see, this is your lesser omentum. At the end of lesser omentum, here you have hepatogastric ligament, and hepatogastric ligament has three content. What are the three content? If we cut it from here, you see, you have hepatic artery proper, you have what? Yes, right gastric artery. You see, it is going here to anastomose. You can see in this figure, this is going here. You have portal vein and you have cystic duct or the bile duct. So remember, this is some association or the correlation with your what was it? Peritoneum. I'm sorry. So this is your celiac truck done. And did you guys notice something? All of the organ which we supplied, whether it's the liver, the stomach, and everything, the celiac trunk was supplying the derivatives of what? Foregut. Similarly, the superior mesenteric artery coming at the level of L1, it is going to supply what? This is supplying the derivatives of midgut. Inferior mesenteric artery, it is going to supply what? At the level of L3 it originates, and this is going to supply the derivatives of hindgut. If you say this to your teacher, they are gonna be very happy with you. I'm really saying it, because teachers like watching students, they are integrating subjects, and that's embryology in the anatomy. So if you say it, they will be very happy with you. So this was our superior celiac trunk discussed. Now we have to discuss our something important, which is our superior mesenteric artery and the inferior mesenteric artery. Let's discuss superior mesenteric artery. Mesenteric artery. Now, one thing about superior, mesenteric artery is that first of all, they are going to give rise to your inferior pancreatoduodenal artery. If you remember here, this inferior pancreatoduodenal artery. Let's take this one and we will understand everything on this. If we are using the atlas image, it gives us better correlation of everything. So this is our large intestine. Should I draw it? Okay, let's draw. This is our cecum. This is our appendix. I am drawing the rostrum of the large intestine right now. Try to learn how to make the schemes. It somewhat gives you one advantage, because your teacher might need 30 minutes to listen to you what you are saying, but within just 10 minutes they can see your scheme and ask a few questions and you will be done. I'm not drawing the scheme of large intestine, so don't look for the accuracy of the large intestine right now. Now see, here you have your superior mesenteric artery and here you have your inferior mesenteric artery. One thing which is quite peculiar is this part, till this part is the derivative of midgut, while the entire this part that you see here, this is the derivative of hindgut. It means the superior mesenteric artery will go to supply only right side and on the superior part, while the inferior is going to only this left part. That is why whenever you see any scheme, whenever the peritoneum is lifted, you will see they are going like this and they are going like this. So let's understand. The superior mesenteric artery is going to give rise to your right colic artery, ascending and descending division again. This is going to give rise to your ileocolic branches. From ileocolic branches, this is going to supply the cecum and the appendix, so appendicular branches from the ileocolic. Similarly, this is going to give rise to the middle celiac branches, and with this our superior mesenteric artery is done, because some part we have already discussed, right? So we discussed what? Middle colic artery, colic artery. We discussed right colic artery. We discussed ileocolic artery. The middle colic artery is going to supply the ascending colon. It is present in the peritoneal fold, because this is a peritoneal structure. It will divide into right and the left branches. I just showed you here. And this is the main artery which is going to be the absent. So this is one of the common artery which is going to be the absent, supplying your large intestine. Now for the right colic artery, this supplies mainly the right part of transverse colon till here almost. It will supply till here, and this is going to supply almost this entire part. Let's not make the scheme worse. Let's keep it simple. So this was your superior mesenteric artery. If we talk about the inferior mesenteric artery, then if inferior mesenteric artery is even quite simpler. Let's see them. Inferior mesenteric artery is going to give rise to left colic artery, ascending division, descending division. This is going to give rise to sigmoidal artery, to the sigmoid colon, and this is going to give rise to superior rectal artery. To what? Rectum. So left colic artery, sigmoidal artery, and superior rectal artery. Now, if I say you one thing, if this is your ascending colon, transverse colon, and descending colon, ascending, transverse, and descending colon, don't you see that this artery, the right colic artery, going till here, the ileocolic artery going to here, the middle colic artery going till here, the left colic artery going till here, and the sigmoidal artery till here, and the superior rectal artery, they are all forming what? They are all forming anastomosis. So doesn't it look like a single artery to you? Yes, this artery is known as the marginal artery of Drummond. All this anastomosis, and once the anastomosis is formed, you will have the arcuate branches, and these arcuate branches are what's going to supply your intestine. Let me open the notes and I will show you. See this. This is what? Superior mesenteric artery. I told you will have right colic, the ileocolic, and you will have middle colic. You see, it extends till here, and it is forming almost a hook like, almost a marginal artery. And then you have these small branches. Those are the arcuate branches here. Then you had inferior colic artery. inferior mesenteric artery, which was giving rise to left colic artery, sigmoidal artery, and your superior rectal artery. Again, they were, giving rise to branches and were anastomosing with each other. And if I remove them all, do you see a fashion that these arteries are just like this, anastomosing with each other, like they appear as they are a single artery, and they are single actually. And with this singular structure, they are giving rise to these small arcuate branches which are going to pierce inside the intestine, and they are going to supply it. And this is the supply of artery, or the arterial blood, I'm sorry, inside the abdomen. This entire note will be delivered to you, so don't worry. If someone wants, a quick revision, firstly look everything here. Celiac trunk, left gastric artery, splenic artery going posterior to the stomach to the spleen, giving rise to short gastric artery and left gastroepiploic artery. Splenic artery is giving rise to arteria pancreatica cauda, arteria pancreatica magna, and what is it I wanted from you? This one is your common hepatic artery, giving rise to two branches, gastroduodenal and hepatic artery proper. And most of the time, this hepatic artery proper is going to give rise to left gastric artery, and they will anastomose here. But it can also come from the common hepatic artery. Now this hepatic artery proper will divide into left hepatic and right hepatic, and right hepatic is going to supply your gallbladder with cystic artery. Now this pancreatoduodenal artery will give rise to, sorry, not pancreatoduodenal, gastroduodenal will give rise to, just a second, right gastroepiploic artery, and it will anastomose with what? Left gastroepiploic artery, and then it will form the pancreatoduodenal artery. That would be anterior and posterior branches. Similarly, anterior and posterior, inferior pancreatoduodenal will come from what? Superior mesenteric artery. They will anastomose and they will supply the head mostly, and maybe the uncinate process. See, actually I did not sleep well today. It was, I think, around 2.5 or 3 hours, so I'm sorry if I'm not so focused. So next time I will compensate for it, so don't worry. So this was your celiac trunk. Here you see, this is your splenic artery, quite tortuous, going on to the posterior wall here, then giving rise to all the hilar branches, short gastric arteries. Here you see, this is your branch, the left gastroepiploic artery, then common hepatic artery giving rise to right and left. The right one is giving rise to cystic branch. Here this one is giving rise to, the celiac trunk is again giving rise to left gastric artery, because I told you celiac trunk gives rise to 3 branches. And the common hepatic artery will give rise to, gastroduodenal artery. Gastroduodenal will give rise to left gastroepiploic, right gastroepiploic, and it will end as what? It will end as your pancreatoduodenal artery. This was your celiac trunk. Similarly, you have your superior mesenteric artery. Superior mesenteric artery will come anterior to your duodenum, because only the first part of duodenum is your peritoneal, while the second, third and the fourth part are extraperitoneal. And this is not a rule, but we have seen it that if the organ is peritoneal, blood vessel will be inside. If the organ is peritoneal, blood vessel will be present outside the peritoneum, and it will come from behind. But if the organ is extraperitoneal, it will be opposite. Similarly, here you see, it will come anteriorly to the third part of your duodenum, because that is extraperitoneal, but it will be present posterior to your transverse colon. Why? Because transverse colon is peritoneal. This will give rise to ileocolic branches, right colic, and the middle colic, and all of them will anastomose here. It will also give rise to your jejunal and ileal branches. Why starve them? Similarly, you will have your inferior mesenteric artery. Inferior mesenteric artery will give rise to left colic artery, sigmoidal branches, and the superior rectal branches. and at the end they are all going to anastomose, forming the marginal artery of Drummond. In this notes there might be something too much, but try to filter out and try to study only what I have told you. Sometimes I a lot of you say that I teach too much information, so in order to reduce the information, sometimes the lectures get complicated. So I would say, don't study so that I don't feel pressurized to reduce the content, so that you don't feel that I am teaching too much. Because this is a real thing. मैं पढ़ाता रहता हूँ ना, उस टाइम मुझे ऐसा लगता है यार ये मैं पढ़ाऊंगा ना बच्चे पढ़ेंगे नहीं, ये फिर ऊपर ऊपर से पढ़ लेंगे लेक्चर्स एंड फिर सोचेंगे इससे काम हो जाएगा. सो आई हैव टू फिल्टर एंड मैं पढ़ा भी रहा हूँ उसमें फिल्टर भी कर रहा हूँ, सो सब कुछ ना दिमाग में बिल्कुल खिचड़ी हो जाता है. सो प्लीज़ डोंट डू इट. माई एडवाइस वुड बी, जितना मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ पढ़ो. मैंने बहुतों को पढ़ाया, मोर देन 450 स्टूडेंट्स विद इन अ सिंगल ईयर. सो प्लीज़ लिसन टू मी, वॉट एवर आई एम सेइंग, do it. This notes will be sent to you by our WhatsApp group. Everything will be here, all the schemes that I made, all the classification, and everything will be highlighted. All the atlas images and the schemes and everything. So I wish you good luck with your exams. I hope you guys pass and ace your exams perfectly. If you need anything, let me know. And just study, because there is no alternative. And exams are not just meant to be passed, they are meant to prove that you really know. कुछ टाइम हो जाता है पास, बट यू डीप डाउन नो कि तुम्हें आता है या नहीं. सो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए दैट यू पास द एग्जाम बट यू स्टिल फील दैट यू डोंट नो, because that is going to eat you from inside. Okay, so you have the time, this is vacation, study, give it your all. And if you need anything, let me know. The entire team of Anatomy Champs will be with you. Any doubt, just text me on WhatsApp. I will almost reply within a minute if I'm free. So have a good day, goodbye, and if you need anything, let me know.